Hello, I'm Sarah. This is Ray. Today we're going to talk about a rare whiskey collaboration between two distilleries that's never been done before and rare in the whiskey world just in general. All right, so you all know me, and this is my friend Ray.
Best friends.
Best friends. And speaking of friends, today we're going to talk about a really cool friendship collaboration. It's pretty rare in the distillery and whiskey world. And Ray is our Dickel extraordinaire, so I'm going to let you take it.
Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. Thanks so much. So I just want to pop this up here real quick so you can see the bottle. One unique thing about the bottle, you don't see two different companies, not owned or affiliated at all, having equal space on a bottle front. Super cool, super unique. We're going to talk about Nicole Austin, formerly of Kings County, runs Cascade Hollow Distilling Company, which produces George Dickel for us at Diageo, and Todd Leopold from Leopold Brothers out in Denver. And the really unique things that they do together and how they really work their friendship together into creating this unique whiskey. So first and foremost, we're going to look at our George Dickel Rye. George Dickel Rye really was produced, or has been produced traditionally by MGP in Indiana. We have added a 8-plate additional extension to our column still, so that we can start doing some unique things in-house that are different from just our regular 84 8 mash bill, which is how we produce our normal Tennessee whiskey. That allows us to play with things like rye and wheat whiskeys, potentially gins in the future, and really create some unique things. What Leopold Brothers does that's really unique about them is Todd likes to recreate kind of stills and projects that were pre-Prohibition era. So this 3-chamber still, when he did some research into it, what he found is that all the ryes that were being produced pre-Prohibition era were really being produced in this funky kind of unique way, and what they were using was this 3-chamber still. Well, there's no 3-chamber still really nowadays, right, Sarah?
No, there's not.
Nobody really knows what it is. We haven't heard of it. Todd resurrected this, had one built in, I believe, the mid-2000s, so that he could start producing this rye and this style that he found in this book. So what he did is he created this still. Here we have a quick little image of the still. I want to get that for you guys. So really what you're looking at is a vertical still where the liquid comes into the top, sits in a tank. There's, you can kind of see here, that's just warming that liquid up. It's called a preheater, and then it goes down as it flows. It'll go down into chamber 1, chamber 2, and chamber 3. When the liquid in chamber 3 gets heated up, that gets spent and it gets pumped out, and it becomes what's basically your feed for animals in the neighborhoods, right? So, but it heats up to about 210 degrees, which is actually just below the threshold of Fahrenheit boiling point. So it's very much a high water content that you're getting in there. So then you're steaming that up, that's coming up, that's steaming again, coming up, and then you're going through it, condensing it down, and creating your actual new make whiskey. So what it does is it creates this really unique liquid that doesn't have necessarily a similar flavor profile to what you think of when you think of normal rye. They also use two different rye grains, different starch contents that give different flavor profiles. So you get this kind of like meaty, kind of thick, luscious rye as opposed to this like spicy, thin rye. When you collaborate and you put these two different ryes together, you can create something really unique, really special. And that's kind of really what they try to do. One unique thing about Leopold Brothers and Dickel that you don't see too much in the whiskey world is, you can put whiskey in at 125 into a barrel, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of that's the max standard. Most people do that so they can maximize the amount of whiskey that they can produce. What these guys do is they both put them in at lower proofs. So Leopold puts it in at 100. They get about equal evaporation of water and ethanol. So what you get is they come out right about 100 proof as well. With Dickel, we have, depending on where in the brick house it is, they put it in at 115. A lot of the times we're getting somewhere between 105 and 110 pulling out of the barrel. So it's really easy for us to kind of match this proof down and get it right at 100 proof. So with that being said, you have any questions for me, Sarah?
I don't. I just want to add that one of the things that I had when I was researching this is that he pretty much calls this still an oil extractor. So you're getting a lot more oils out of the grains than you normally would, and so that's also going to create mouthfeel, which of course we all love. Let's taste it.
And I think mouthfeel is really the most unique thing about these old ryes, right?
Right.
So,
Agreed.
And this one specifically as well.
So let's give it a go.
mean, even on the nose with this, you don't get those like traditional like hard rye spices. You
No.
get some baking spice for sure.
Yeah, I
but
mean, normally you get some astringency with rye, which I don't.
you must get these floral notes,
Yep, absolutely.
things you would expect in teas, stuff like that.
Chamomile.
Yeah, lavender.
Oh, that's good.
It's like fruity almost.
Yeah, it is. You don't get that crazy punch you in the face rye that you get with a lot of other high, especially high rye content ryes.
You know, we're looking here from a rye content. The Leopold Brothers side is about 80%, 20% rye to malted barley.
Right?
Yeah. The Dickel side, I don't have full specs on that. We haven't fully released that, but we do know what the Leopold guys are doing. This is actually the first run that we've done on that extra still extension.
Oh.
So this was the first run coming
Okay.
off that extra still
That's
extension.
cool.
Which is really cool to see that pull in there, and then see that friendship come together with that, and also like the unique thing that we've just started doing at Dickel.
Just like us, right?
I know. So we do it at Dickel, handmade the hard way. They do it at Leopold very sustainably. We both try to practice sustainable practices. Dickel doesn't have any really mechanical products. It's all literally like hand
That's pretty
scales. Everything's pushed by hand, and
Lots of steam stuff and
yeah.
the
So
stuff.
it's really cool to kind of see how it all pulls together.
Cheers.
Cheers.